What is up, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to Optimal Self Live, coming to you today from my real estate office. So welcome, those of you guys that are watching. Thanks for being here as always. And let's get after it, because there's really some cool stuff that I want to talk to you about today. Because as you can see, this wall behind me is nothing but what they call them are bold laws, right? And you can probably read them. Those of you guys that have access to the video here, maybe you're catching this on YouTube or Facebook. If you guys are listening at home or on the podcast, well, I'm going to go over each and every one of them with you. I'm going to go over one specifically that's on the wall that really got me today that I love, because you ever have those days where you just get super busy? You just get, everything is on your plate. Your to-do list or your success list is so long, and you're just literally wondering, how am I going to get through it? How am I going to get this done today? Well, today was one of those days for me. And so what I kept asking myself and what I kept saying and looking for is this specifically: what you focus on expands, right? So I want you to think about that for a second. And what I really want you to do is right this second, I want you to take a second and ask yourself, what was I focused on most today? Where was my focus? Was it productivity? Was it things that were making me a better me? Was I truly the best version of myself? Was I living in that moment of being the best version of myself? Was I there? Was that happening? I want you to ask yourself right now. And if it wasn't, I want you to understand this, that you can fix that, right? There are things that we can do that can start to harness, right? We want to harness our focus. How do we stay focused more often? How do we get focused? So, but to give you my day today, right? I kept going back and I kept asking myself that question: where's your focus at? Where's your focus at? Am I focused on the right thing? Am I focused on doing what is needed to get done to make today productive, to make sure that everybody I came in contact with, that each and every one of my clients at each and every one of those meetings, actually I was giving my best and I was prepared for it? And so what you focus on expands. If my focus is there, it's going to expand. And I'm going to be able to give the best that I can give. I'm going to be the best version of me. And that's the goal in each and every situation. But we have to understand, are we focusing on the right things? And so here I go. Ready? So how do we harness our attention so we can focus deeper? How do we do that? Well, number one, we have to limit distractions. You'll see on there right now. So how do we limit distractions? Well, we limit them by using a thing at Optimal Self that we call 100 or nothing, right? It's either 100% there or I'm not doing anything at all, because 99% is not good enough. 99% is not good enough. 100% or nothing. So whatever I'm doing in that moment, I have to give that 100%. What ends up happening is I start to cut everything else out. I limit the distractions. I'm not trying to connect to two or three or five or six different things, right? I'm not bouncing from one thing to another. I don't have 4 or 5 things going on. I don't. And I'll say this to you. I limit distractions because you deserve that. The people around you deserve that. If you're going to dinner with your loved ones, put your phone away. Don't be checking emails. Don't be checking your phone. Give them 100% of your attention. That way, when you're at work and when you're focused on productivity, when you're focused on doing the things that are going to make your life better, again, you can give it 100%. All right. So rule number one, or item number one, and how do we harness our attention for deeper focus? Number one, you got to limit distractions. You have to limit. Number two, we're going to create future bias. What does that mean? Well, that means we are going to plan. And at Optimal Self, one of our principles is intention, teaching people how to be intentional. So creating future bias is by creating moments to get those things done. Meaning, I have to understand, listen, my brain is in a constant form. The reason why we have anxiety is future. We're worried about the future. We're anxious, right? So if I get intention, if I create future bias by planning, by being intentional about my day, by being intentional about the moment. Take it moment by moment if you have to, but get super intentional about what am I going to accomplish right now? These next 10 minutes, my future bias is to sit down, to prepare, to be ready, and I'm super intentional. I'm not doing anything else. My phone could ring, the alarm could go off, whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm here. This is my focus. It's 100 or nothing, right? You see how these two tie together. And then number 3 is a little bit different. Number 3 is step away. In order to harness our attention for deep focus, right? To have the deepest, most controlled focus as I can, it's not all at once. You can't just sit there for 3 hours and do it. It's got to be in increments. And so if you're starting to struggle, if you're starting to have the block and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What was going on? I'll tell you what to do. Step away. Step away for a second. I'm going to tell you this happens to me probably 4 out of 7 days of the week. Is I'm working on something, whether it be a course or whether it be something to bring to optimal self, and how do we help people? That's our goal, my mission. You guys know the mission. The mission is to help and inspire others, right? To change behavior through belief and action so they can be the best version of themselves. And when you're thinking of things that need to get done, and you're thinking of things that how do we add to it? How do we expand? How do we make sure that people are getting that value? Well, sometimes it's that block and I'm sitting there just banging my head. But you want to know what happens to me without fail? Is I can be thinking about something, I can be working on something, I kind of have a block or whatever, and the time component comes up and I got to be somewhere. So I'm booked to the shower, and I jump in the shower, and the moment I get in the shower, I start washing my hair, whatever, and next thing you know, boom, here comes the idea. I cannot tell you how many times in my lifetime, and it's more than both hands and feet combined, that I've had to turn that off, grab a journal, grab something, grab my phone, type it, write it to get that thing on paper. Because I stepped away from what was holding me back. I stepped away from where the block was. Sometimes it's just change the environment. Sometimes I can literally just walk from my office to the living room. Sometimes I can walk from room to room, just getting something else, walk outside for a second, come back, and boom, I have it. You just need to change the environment. So step away. Imagine that. Step away can create a bigger and better and deeper focus. And the truth is, your focus determines your reality. So everything that's your reality right now is because that's where your focus has been. It's that simple, right? So real quick, one more time. Number 1, limit distractions. Give it 100 or nothing. Everything else goes off. This is what I'm focused on. Number 2, create future bias. Set your intentions. Be intentional about who you are, about who you want to be. Be the damn best version of you. Don't stand around. Don't worry about it. Don't blame others. Create the future bias by planning. Set that intention. And that's what's going to give you that deep focus, because I'm intentional, because I know what I want to do. And guess what? It's learned. Number 3, step away. Get yourself a new environment, walk away, take a shower, go to the kitchen, cook some food, do something that's going to allow you to get your mind off of that. So when I come back, my focus is strong. All right? My focus is on par, on course, because I'm going to say it to you again. Your focus determines your reality, not the other way around. Understand that. So what I want you to do, make focus your superpower. Work at it. Start limiting. Start with one of them. Maybe I just start with 100 or nothing. I start with that number 1, right? Limiting the distractions. Start with there. And then I work my way. But as focus becomes your superpower, and your focus determines your reality, when I'm focused on the right things, your reality is everything that you want. And I hope for every one of you that reality is truly the best version of you. All right, that's what I got for you today. Understand, what you focus on expands. So guess what? Make focus your superpower, and let's go get them. As always, there's somebody in your life right now that I can't touch, that we at Optimal Self don't know, can't touch. They don't know us. Like, share, comment, talk to them. Say, hey man, give this a listen. See what you think, right? Because our job is to band together and touch 1 million lives and change the future for the better. Give people the opportunity to be the best version of themselves, to be their optimal self. All right? Have an awesome, awesome night. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow.